September 2024 is a very big month energetically, planetarily, and universally because we are experiencing the splitting of timelines, the bifurcation of realities. And there are so many major events in September that are supporting this grand split. First, we have the new moon right as the month begins. And that energy of beginnings is asking you, which path are you taking? Are you going to stay in 3D or are you going to make the leap to 5D? Are you going to trust and believe in yourself? Are you going to open your mind and your heart and leap into your dreams? Then comes the lunar eclipse on September 17th or 18th, closely followed by the equinox on September 22nd. And then as soon as we hit October, we have the solar eclipse, October 2nd. Remember, equinoxes and eclipses are big periods of light codes, frequencies being sent to the planet, into Gaia, into humanity, big opportunities for quantum leaps. The lunar eclipse sends so many lunar light codes, and the solar eclipse sends so many solar light codes. And the equinox is a rebalancing of all the energies and light codes. Welcome to your multidimensional journey. I am Tracy Canberra, and let's dive into what we can expect in September 2024. So, after such a chaotic August with intense solar storms, Lionsgate, which really brought a lot of dramatic endings and beginnings with the powerful energy, and of course, Mercury retrograde. That was a doozy. We're just coming out of it now. According to astrology, it's not going to be fully direct until mid-September, but check with your astrologer for that, as I am not one. What I do see is the solar storms are going to continue and the intensity is going to really skyrocket because it's helping us up level. In addition, Gaia is still balancing out all of these chaotic energies and releasing a lot of the lower frequencies, the dense energies. And we're going to see that in events such as earthquakes, hurricanes, volcanic eruptions. Hopefully, it'll be a lot less in frequency and magnitude as we continue to embrace our self-empowerment, our divine feminine and divine neutral energies. Because we as humanity can have an effect on Earth events like volcanic eruptions and earthquakes with our frequency. So the more we rise above the chaos, the more we surf the wave of higher frequencies, the more we lessen the impact of these Earth events because they are Gaia rebalancing the planet, releasing the lower toxic frequencies that we've been living in for thousands of years. Remember, she's the stage for our play. So if we're setting a new stage, she's got to get rid of the old one. Think of it that way. So we're going to have a lot of Earth events, and it's up to us, the magnitude of them. So stay high vibe, people. Then we have the first eclipse, the lunar eclipse, right before the equinox. And lunar eclipses energetically, not astrologically, but energetically, are much softer than solar eclipses. They usher in more of the divine feminine, of balance, of receiving, of that goddess energy, of receiving greatly and standing in your power without control and manipulation. So it's going to be a beautiful lunar eclipse, a real quantum leap for all of you that are working on your receiving and standing in your power with love and compassion and grace and honor. And we have just a few days of that before we get into the equinox. And that is a grand rebalancing. A lot of new energies coming in during the equinox to balance. Remember, every time we reach a tipping point, every time a percentage of humanity makes a quantum leap, and it does not have to be majority. We're not talking 80% or 50%. The Solaran Council is telling me even 22% of humanity making a quantum leap into a higher timeline, into more love and compassion and grace and honor. It pulls the rest of us with. It's entrainment. And that means that much more of humanity takes a quantum leap during this equinox. And after the equinox, we are followed October 2nd with the solar eclipse. And of course, I'll talk more about that in October, but that's really going to anchor in some new frequencies. So overall, September is going to be a month of beautiful change rather than traumatic change. We are more prepared. If I can simplify, a lot of the abrupt endings and a lot of the losses that we felt from April through August, they're blossoming into new beginnings now. Things get softer and easier. We are in higher frequencies, expanded energies. So we sense more, we're opening up our abilities more. And remember, as the timelines split, as humanity splits, those that don't believe in galactics, don't believe in higher dimensions, or that want to believe in the apocalypse, those people stay in 3D timelines. And the rest of us that do believe, that know we're ascending, we go into higher timelines. And as we reach those higher timelines, the timelines just split and those people aren't in our lives anymore. So we can lose touch with them. It doesn't automatically mean they die. It just means that we lose touch. We no longer want to hang out with them. We haven't heard from them in a while. You know, this bifurcation of timelines and realities does not have to be traumatic, and it's not locked in. If they want to believe in the apocalypse, they can still have awakening. If they have an awakening, they see us. Remember, pages in a book. Even if you are not on that page yet, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You can flip to that page, okay? So those of you that feel like you're going to experience tremendous loss and really miss those that aren't ascending, they always have their opportunity to join you, always. The door is never closed. But there is going to be a massive splitting of timelines in September with the 2 eclipses and the equinox. The Solaran Council is saying, don't be surprised if people fall out of your reality, if you fall out of touch with them. If a friendship that was really important to you, you now have nothing in common. Or you end up really committing to yourself and your spiritual growth and your ascension, and you're working on opening your abilities. That's another big thing, that your intuitive abilities, humanity's intuitive abilities, are really coming to the forefront this last quarter of the year. So this is the time to really practice your intuition. What do you sense? What do you feel? What is your knowing? Practice it, step into the bilocating practices, the merging practices, add to the tools in your toolkit. That's what ensures you take the quantum leaps and find yourself in the higher frequencies. And remember, as we expand our awareness and we move into higher bands of frequency, not only does our intuition get greater, but our manifesting gets greater. Life becomes happier and easier and more abundant more often because we're in a higher dimensional state of being. So it's a lot of energies in September, a lot of major events, but it's also going to be easier for us to harness these energies to surf the waves and use our intuition more and manifest more and generally feel calmer. Let's touch in with the Solaran Council on what they have to say about September. Humanity, you have turned a corner. August, as we observe, was tumultuous indeed, very tumultuous. But know that as you come out of August and you step into September, the energies will become much easier for you to harmonize with. Know that. This is your opportunity to download all of the solar light codes because the solar storms will continue. They will still be intense the rest of this year. It is up to you. It is completely your choice how you absorb these energies. For if you use your tools, your methods to harmonize with these frequencies, to download these light codes rather than be overwhelmed by them, you will experience much less symptoms of the solar storms because you will be riding the waves. So actively download and assimilate the solar light codes, the lunar light codes. Go into your Gaia and assimilate the energy she contains within. Stay in your nature, free yourself, have fun. Use all of your tools because you can harness the energy of these solar storms. You can use the solar light codes and lunar light codes to activate your multidimensional DNA, your crystalline light body. That is what your ascension is about. That is what we are assisting you with. So know that your month of September is ripe for quantum leaps. You are ready. The energies are arriving. Use them wisely. Use them fully. You can. You are in a position. You have the ability and the knowledge. Set your intentions. Make it happen. We are with you on this journey. We are assisting you with your ascension. So ride the waves in September. We will be with you all along. Okay, those are the biggies in September. So now you know what's going on. Let me know how you feel September is going to be for you and how ready you feel for all of the light codes blasting onto the planet in September. Do you feel confident in assimilating them, in upgrading yourself, your physical, mental, emotional self, your light body self? And most of all, what are you choosing? Are you committed to your ascension? Are you committed to keeping your thoughts and your feelings directed in positivity, in divine neutral, in expanded states of awareness? If you're on YouTube, leave it in the comments because I want to know. Are you ready for this and what are the tools you use? Good luck and we'll talk soon.